The movie begins with Gema, who's quietly sobbing in the restroom, her emotions threatening to overwhelm her. She quickly wipes away any evidence of her tears when her fiancé Sam calls out to her. She grips the sink tightly, struggling to steady herself, and glances at the mirror one last time. With shaky hands, she dabs at her tears, erasing the evidence of her vulnerability. She knows she cannot let her emotions spill into the evening ahead. Taking one last look in the mirror, she smooths her hair and checks her face, ensuring there are no smudges of mascara beneath her eyes. Sam calls out to her again, and she responds, saying she's coming out. After making sure her mood and face are in order for the last time, she takes a deep breath before stepping out into the bedroom. She immediately starts preparing for the dinner they're having with Sam's parents, moving around the room to gather her clothes. However, Sam is in a playful mood, and he's decided to distract her. He playfully teases her while she moves about, eventually pulling her into a warm embrace and making her laugh despite herself. Gema lovingly tries to stress the importance of getting ready, urging him to stop fooling around. However, it seems her protests only encourage him to tease her further by reminding her of their passionate night together. Gema's face flushes with a deep blush as Sam gazes at her, his eyes brimming with passion as he takes in her beauty. If given the chance, it seems highly likely he'll forget their dinner plans altogether and replace them with far more intimate intentions. Gema struggles to maintain her composure, though it's clear that his carefree attitude is both frustrating and endearing. It's also affecting her far more than she's willing to admit. In a tone of mock sincerity, Sam gets as serious as he can manage, and asks why she's always running late. Gema responds with a quick, playful retort, asking why he always insists on asking such silly questions. She punctuates her words with a light, teasing bop on his nose. Realizing they'll remain locked in this moment if neither of them acts, Gema decides it's time to break the moment and move things along. She successfully slips out of his arms in order to continue getting ready. However, Sam isn't ready to give up teasing her just yet, and throws in a few more quips to try and distract her. Gema doesn't fall for it this time, already used to his antics. She rolls her eyes and tosses him his clothes, urging him to get dressed. Sam finally relents, his grin as wide as ever, and begins to change. Gema, who is determined to make a very good first impression on his parents, inquires whether Sam has picked up the flowers for his mom. He assures her they're ready and waiting in the living room. But then Sam casually mentions that his parents would be arriving at the house first, before they all head out for dinner. Gema freezes, caught off guard by the sudden change of plans. This isn't how things are supposed to go, and to her, it feels like an ambush. Sam tries to reassure her, explaining that it wasn't intentional, and things only just happened that way. Gema tries to understand his point of view, and after a brief pause, she reluctantly accepts his explanation. She takes a moment to gather herself before asking if he's at least given his parents a proper heads-up about their relationship. Sam suddenly finds himself at a loss for words, since he hasn't confessed about that. Guilt suddenly fills his eyes as he looks at her, and his hesitation makes it painfully clear to Gema that he hasn't told his parents about their relationship. Gema's expression shifts in an instant, and the remaining threads of her patience snap. Furious, she throws her dress onto the counter with such force that her nail catches and breaks in the process. Mad and betrayed, she turns on Sam, urgently demanding an explanation for his actions. She angrily reminds him that the only reason she agreed to meet his parents for the dinner in the first place was for him to finally tell his parents about their relationship, something he is well aware of. Sam tries to explain that he didn't say anything because the dinner would be the first time his parents were meeting her, and he didn't want to overwhelm them with the news. He prefers to give them time to really know Gema before revealing their relationship. Disheartened, Gema voices her frustrations, pointing out how Sam has once again made an executive decision without consulting her. It's obvious this isn't the first time. It seems he's accustomed to making decisions on his own. Sam quickly tries to defend himself, insisting it wasn't an executive decision. He explains that his parents are only in town for a single day, and admits he just couldn't bring himself to tell them about their relationship. Unmoved, Gema crosses her arms, her sharp gaze locking onto his in a silent standoff. The weight of her unspoken words is clear. His excuses aren't good enough. Sam eventually concedes, admitting she's right because he should have told his parents, no matter what. Gema feels really bad about this and hesitantly voices her fear that his parents' opinion of her might not be good, wondering aloud if they'd even like her at all. However, Sam brushes her worries off, telling her that it's far too late to worry about it. His casual dismissal only fuels her anger, and Gema furiously begins packing her things to leave. Sam's frustration boils over, making him snap and question if they're really going down the same road again. It seems this isn't the first time Gema has threatened to leave after all. Sam tries to make her see reason, sharing that it hasn't been easy for him either, and that she hasn't even bothered to ask how he feels about everything. His words stop her in her tracks, and she slowly puts down the things she was packing and admits, with a heavy sigh, that the timing for everything just feels wrong. Sam, trying to make sense of her emotions, tells her she can't simply shut down and leave because of the timing. But before he can say more, Gema interrupts, informing him that she received a call from her father. The mention of her father catches Sam off guard, leaving him momentarily speechless. After a while, he asks about what her father told her, with a soft voice. It's quite obvious from her shrug that the call was about her life choices. Gema's face falls and she sinks down onto the bed, overwhelmed by the weight of it all. Guess the call from her father was the reason for her secret emotional meltdown earlier in the restroom. Sam immediately sits beside her, pulling her into a comforting embrace. She leans into him, her emotions eventually pouring out. Sam wonders aloud why she never called him about what was happening when he was at work. While sobbing, Gema explains that she didn't want to burden him with her problems. She knows he has his own things to deal with, and she doesn't want to add to his stress. Without hesitation, Sam looks at her with intense sincerity and reassures her that she's never a burden to him. He would always worry and care for her because she's now a part of him. Sam apologizes for snapping at her, explaining it was the tension and pressure getting to him. Gema, understanding, assures him it's okay. Assessing the situation, Sam suggests canceling the dinner with his parents, but Gema firmly disagrees. Despite how tempting the idea is, she's determined to see it through and refuses to give up so easily. Wanting to gauge how she's really feeling, Sam presses her gently, but Gema struggles to put her emotions into words. Instead, she deflects, urging him to tidy up the sitting room before his parents arrive to make the place look more presentable. Sam leans in, pulling her into a firm embrace, his lips meeting hers in a passionate kiss that quickly intensifies, filling the air with heat. Gema responds with equal fervor, her hands finding his as their fingers intertwine, the moment binding them in an undeniable connection. Sam wonders aloud if Gema is sure about her decision for dinner, but Gema playfully teases him about asking yet another dumb question. Her light-hearted response manages to shift the mood, making them both laugh. As they lean in for another passionate kiss, the moment is abruptly interrupted by the ping of Sam's phone. Sam checks the notification and reveals that his parents are 15 minutes away. Upon hearing this, Gema quickly jumps to her feet and continues her preparations for the dinner. Meanwhile, Sam hurriedly heads out to clean up the sitting room in order to make sure everything looks presentable. As Gema continues preparing, she quietly slips off her engagement ring from her finger and wears it as a necklace instead, carefully placing it inside her dress. Sam's parents don't know about their engagement, so she doesn't want to complicate things. If they notice the ring on her finger, they're bound to ask questions, which she's doing her best to avoid. She chooses a mini white dress, pairing it with black heels and a few accessories. Her hair is swept into a neat bun, though she leaves a few strands free to frame her face, and she finishes the look with a bold touch of red lipstick. Sam enters the room, having finished cleaning the sitting room, and Gema asks for his opinion on her outfit. His response is casual, which makes her doubt it. She wonders if he's truly happy with her choice, but Sam reassures her that he does like it. However, he asks if she's tried on another dress. This makes Gema snap, insisting he doesn't like the dress. Sam quickly reassures her once again, clarifying that he does like it. Yet despite his words, there's a certain hesitation in the way he looks at her, as if he's holding back from saying something. Gema notices Sam's hesitation and urges him to speak up, her tone a little more insistent. Sam finally points out awkwardly that her bust area needs to be filled in the dress. Apparently, her bust in the dress doesn't quite fill it out, making it seem like there's nothing there. Things are a bit awkward as Gema looks down at herself and cups her bust, but immediately gets an idea to fix the issue. She opens the drawer and pulls out a black bra. She carefully removes the white dress, revealing her black tights and a bodysuit silicone bra underneath. It turns out her hair is also a wig, and she takes that off too, bringing out another wig and revealing her natural hair covered in a wig cap. Sam notices her struggling with the clasp at the back of her bra and rushes over to help. Just as Gema adds silicone cups to the bra, in order to amplify the look of her bust, the doorbell suddenly chimes. The sound catches both of them off guard, signaling the arrival of Sam's parents. Gema pauses mid-action while Sam stares at her. The moment Gema has dreaded has arrived. Apparently, Gema is a transgender woman, and Sam clearly hasn't come out to his parents.